Hey guys, welcome to another WoW video. And for today, I have finally edited up the last two Battle Pet Dungeons that I recorded back in like BFA. So I've tested out these fights to make sure they're still working, and they do still work in Dragonflight. So this is the guide for Gnomeregan. I'm gonna have another one in a couple of days for you. That one's gonna be the Black Rock one. So yeah, and then that will put every single pet dungeon on this channel for those that are interested. So starting like I usually do, the shopping list. So here is the shopping list. Definitely make sure you have all these battle pets at, 25 at max level before you come into Gnomeregan. It will make it a lot easier to accomplish this. I did make it an easy shopping list so no pets get reused, so you only ever need one of each of the pets. The first time you come in here, you're able to heal your pets up along the way, but the second, normally when you do it as the weekly, you can't heal. So having no duplicates in this list is definitely a positive. You'll never feel the need to actually heal anyone. I find the first time's always kind of like the roughest when you're first starting these, because you do two dungeons, one for the trial and then one for your achievement. Which, to be honest, can be kind of boring. that first day is always just a little rough, because it's like one thing to do one pet dungeon, but to do like the same one twice in a row, yeah. But I like to do it that way. That way it's just, done. Okay, so stage 1 is going to have a one fight in it, prototype Annoy-A-tron. You're going to want Bone Shard at 111, Zandalari Ankle Render at 222, and you can choose the third pet. It's just going to, in case shit goes wrong, it'll finish stuff for you. You're going to start the fight by passing, and then use Blistering Cold, Ice Spike, Chop, another Ice Spike, Blistering Cold, Ice Spike, Chop. Bring in Ankle Render at this point. You should be on turn 8. And then on turn 9 you'll do Black Claw and Hunting Party, and that should polish it all off. Okay, so stage 2 has 3 pet battles we're going to do. So starting with Living Sludge, we have the Hermit Crab at 121, Autumnal Sproutling at 122, and Blazing Cinder Crawler at 112. So you're going to start off by diving, and then use Bubble, and then just pinch until Living Sludge is dead. A random enemy pet will come in at this point, and you can just pinch, dive, pinch until dead. Bring in your Sproutling. You'll use Leech Seed when it's on cooldown, and Fist of the Forest when it's on cooldown. And then as a filler, you can just use Lash. As you can see, I didn't even need my Cinder Crawler, but I did suggest Cinder Crawler for you guys just in case you do need a good filler in case the fight goes wrong. but there's a good chance you'll only use the first 2 pets. Okay, so next we have a living Napalm. So Scooter the Snail is at 111, Dark Phoenix Hatchling is 121, and then you can choose any pet, but I personally prefer Fetid Hatchling. You're going to start with Acidic Goo, and then Dive, and then Ooze Touch until Napalm dies. A random enemy pet will come in. Any undead and dodge rounds you're going to want to pass. Other than that, you can just use Acidic Goo and Ooze Touch until Scooter dies. Bring in your Dark Phoenix Hatchling, and you're going to Immolate, Confligate, and then burn until that pet dies. And then once your last pet comes in, you can just redo that order. As you can see, this is another battle where I only used the first 2 pets. So, yeah, that's why I pretty much told you could choose anything for this 3rd one. You probably will not need the 3rd pet. But if you do, his health will be so low that you could just fill it in with anything. Okay, next we have a living Permafrost. So you'll want Glutted Bleeder at 111, Golden Dragon Hawk Hatchling at 122, and then you can choose your 3rd pet. You're going to start with Toxic Skin being active, and then just Scratch. Yeah, just keep spamming Scratch. If the Cockroach is up while Bleeder is still alive, use Burrow. Bring in your Hatchling, pass during any undead rounds, and if the Roach is up, Claw until they die, and if the Mech or Undead is up, do Flamethrower, Conflagrate, and then just keep spamming Flamethrower until they die. Okay, so now you're on stage 3. We just need to fight the door control console to continue on. So for this one, you want Rapana Whelp at 111, Shimmershell Snail at 111, and Mudshell Conch at 111. So you're going to start with Acidic Goo, then Dive, and then Ooze Touch until the carrier dies or your pet does. For this fight, there's a really good chance you're going to need all 3 pets. They all have the same abilities, so you're just doing the same rotation for as long as they survive on every single one. Pretty much every time I did this fight, I was on the last pet fighting the rest, so yeah. And then this next part is actually my favorite part of this dungeon. You don't fight anything, you just hop into the machine. Well, your first ability is speed, and your second ability is shield, so that you know, can handle the full trip to your next stage. So just hit shield as soon as it's available each time, and then, you know, of course, speed will help you get there faster. But I just thought this this part was very cool. I had a lot of fun with this one. Yeah. Okay, so stage 5. We have 2 for stage 5, and then there's like a boss one that'll come in after. So the rat, you're gonna use Coastal Scuttler at 111, Blue Dragonhawk Hatchling 122, and Red Dragonhawk Hatchling at 122. You'll start with Bubble, and then Stampede, and then Pinch until the Undead round happens, and you're just gonna pass on the Undead round. A random pet is gonna come in. Just remember to keep passing on the Undead rounds or the Dodge rounds, and other than that, Stampede until you die. And then you're gonna use your hatchlings at this point. So if the mech pets are up, you will use Flamethrower, Conflagrate, and then just keep spamming Flamethrower, and when Conflagrate is back on CD, you use that again. If Critter and Undead pets are up, use Flamethrower, Conflagrate, and then Claw. Okay, next up we have the Cockroach fight. You're going to use Tiny Bog Beast 122, Mr. Bigglesworth 121, and Giant Woodworm 111. You're going to start with a Rampage and then just leap until the cockroach dies. Random enemy will come in, pass during undead and dodge rounds, and you will use Crush and then Rampage until you're dead. Bring in Mr. Bigglesworth at this point. If the mech pet is up, you're going to use Ice Tomb, Frost Nova, and then Claw. And if the undead pet is up, Ice Tomb, and then Claw. If Critter is up, just Claw. This was definitely another one that I was able to just do with 2 pets, but always good to have that third one just in case. Okay, so stage 6 brings you the Bloated Rat, and you're gonna get Octopode Fry at 121, Leviathan Hatchling at 211, and then you can choose whatever pet you want for the third. Basically, you just want to maintain your toxic skin, so just make sure that that is, always up. If the debuff is not active, you can Whirlpool and then Tentacle Slap. At this point, you can bring in your hatchling. Once again, maintain toxic skin. Whirlpool if the debuff is not active. And then you can water jet. If he's died and the fight's still going, you can just use your third to, polish it off. But you probably won't even get to your third pet. Okay, so now we're on stage 7. This was kind of like, at this point, sometimes the dungeon just like, even when you've done it a bunch and you're now like speed fighting through this is kind of the point where I was like starting to fall asleep doing the dungeon, Yeah. But we're almost done. We just got like 4 battles left. So stage 7... we'll bring you 3 different pets, and we're going to start with the Guard Wolf. So you'll want Ashwing Moth at 122, Amber Moth at 212, and Flamering Moth at 212. This strat is super easy, one of the biggest reasons I use it. And all you're doing is Moth Dust, Cocoon Strike, and Alpha Strike. Just keep up that rotation on all of them, and yeah, that's literally all you need to know for this fight. And this strat actually works for like crappy moths. Like if your moths are like green or gray, yeah, this strat does work for that as well. So they don't need to be like 3 blues. Next up is the Mechanostrider, and because I've chosen an easy strat with Mechanostrider as well, this is the fight that kind of put me in like snooze mode all the time, because you basically only need one pet. You can one pet this one, but the downfall, it will take around, I don't know, 22 to like 38 rounds. It takes a while. So, Brute 222. Basically, all you're gonna do is maintain photosynthesis, maintain sunlight, and spam Iron Bark when those are on cooldown. And just keep doing that. Easy fight, just a little on the long side, so. Next, we have Guard Tiger, and this is another one that can be one pet soloed, so pick whatever you want in the second and third. But you do definitely want Tiny Snowman at 111. So you're going to start by calling Blizzard, and I don't mean the company, call Blizzard the ability, and then use Howling Blast, and then Snowball. And basically your priorities here is that Blizzard is always maintained, Howling Blast, and then Snowball. So you just keep doing that same rotation over, and then that'll be done. This one's like 16 rounds, so it doesn't take long. Yeah, I would find a 16 round like solo is pretty good. Now, on the topic of solo, you can see that I chose to use footage where it wasn't done with one pet, but we needed the second one in there. Sometimes you don't always solo it. Sometimes it really depends on crits and stuff. So you may need the second pet once in a while. To be honest, what I did is I always watched some Netflix shows while doing this dungeon. So it really helps for this set. Like stage 7 is kind of like the longest stage, just because the best strats for it are longer rounds.
Back away from the robot, or I shall blow this entire facility to ruins. We have been watching you, hero. You haven't the faintest idea what you are up against. We have a plan. One so elaborate that a simplistic plebeian like you could never hope to comprehend it. I have just deactivated all safety protocols from this unit, and took something special for us to keep. What's more, I have observed your pathetic strategy, and have already predicted your next 4 moves. You cannot hope to outsmart someone of my advanced capabilities. I would wish you luck, but my words would be wasted. Super teleport, activate!
Okay, and now we are on the final boss, Pulverizing Bot MK6001. You're going to use Icky at 111, Tinytron at 212, and then you can choose whatever pet you want for the third selection. So you're going to start by doing Flock, and this is going to force your second pet in, so which should be Tinytron. And you will do Fire Shield, Lightning Shield, and then just polish it off with Flamethrower. If you do need your third pet, you can just use your third pet as a filler. And that's the fight. To be perfectly honest, I thought this last boss was actually really easy. I was expecting him to be a little more of a struggle, a little more RNG. And so he was pretty easy for being the final boss of a dungeon that is so large and has so many stages and battles. Yeah. So this dungeon isn't bad, just a little long. Yeah, it's just a lot of fights in it. And yeah, so, which is probably why it took me so long to gain motivation to actually edit the video. Now, I'm sure I've mentioned this in some of my other Pet Dungeon videos, but I just want to point out that these portals you get are amazing. I still use them to this day, and I don't even do the Pet Dungeons anymore because I've been done for, 2 or 3 years. These are forever portals, so you could just, if you wanted to go do a transmog farm, don't forget you have these portals you can use. So yeah, you will definitely want to do this one a second time because, as you probably know from past dungeons, you need to actually go do it again after the trial run, I guess we'll say, in order to get your achievement and all that. I actually did this dungeon one extra time than I would have normally done it, because I always keep doing it for all, getting all the pets and all that. But I did actually bring my rogue in, because my rogue is an engineer, and there's an engineer pattern for a pet on this vendor, so that might be something you want to do. Or you can just, use that character to do it all. I like to do everything on my main. That's the video, so I hope you enjoyed. My bad for taking so long on getting this one out there, but it is out there now. So I hope you enjoy and have fun going after your pet dungeons, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.